If you happen to be shopping for your next lens, stop. Before you spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on another prime lens or another telephoto or an ultra wide, ask yourself one question. What lens is actually capable of doing everything that I need it to do? Because in photography, you don't need to own the most lenses, you just need the right lens. And in my opinion, if there's one lens that you need to succeed as a photographer, it's this one right here, the 2470 f2.8. Not because it's perfect, and not because it's the best lens, but because no other lens offers the same level of flexibility and versatility as this one. So let me explain. Every photographer loves talking about lenses. You'll hear people swear by the 35mm. Others won't shoot anything but 85mm. Some photographers won't even leave their house without a 70-200. That would be me. Landscape photographers love ultra-wide lenses, street photographers love small, compact, prime lenses. And none of those are wrong, they're all right in their own right, because every focal length has its strengths, and every lens has its purpose. But here's what I think often gets overlooked. Those lenses are specialists. They're specialty lenses. They all excel at one particular thing. Whereas the 2470 isn't necessarily a specialty lens. It can do everything. And honestly, I think that matters more than a lot of people might realize. I mean, think about a typical day with your camera. You might go out, find a nice landscape. All of a sudden, you're shooting pretty wide. 24mm, let's say. 5 minutes later, you're walking down the street and you see someone off in the distance eating a bagel, and there's smoke from a vent coming up behind them, and it seems like it'd be a good portrait. So now you need a longer focal length. Not even because you want to necessarily zoom in, but just because you want to compress that shot and really separate the subject from the background. Then your friend's like, hey, can you take a cool portrait of me? Maybe you want something in the middle around 50mm. Then you sit down for coffee and you think to yourself, I could use a little B-roll right now for my YouTube video. Or maybe you're just taking pictures of your kids and they're running around in the backyard, constantly going back and forth, closer and further. You don't have time to swap out lenses every time they're too far to get a nice picture or too close to get them all in frame. But if you had a 2470, you can easily just zoom in and out and get all of those shots. The landscape, the cityscape, the portrait of the stranger in the distance with that compression we all love, or a nice picture of your friend, some B-roll at a coffee shop, or your kids running around. It's all possible within this focal range. No changing lenses, no missing moments, no digging through your bag. You just zoom. And some people might argue that 24mm isn't wide enough and 70 isn't telephoto enough. And that's a fair counterpoint. Maybe it's not wide enough for what you do, but again, at that point, you're talking about specialty lenses. 24mm is more than wide enough for things like landscapes or cityscapes. You can do environmental portraits or even real estate photography. Even vlogging isn't beyond the realm of possibility. I've done plenty of videos holding the camera out at 24mm. It's a little tight, but it works. You can get it done. And then you can zoom in a little further to 35mm. We all know the lure behind the infamous 35mm focal range. It's good for storytelling and environmental portraits. It's wide enough to tell a story without feeling exaggerated or distorted. And it's probably the most recognizable focal length in photography. Balanced, natural, comfortable even. Then you move up to 50mm, portraits, lifestyle, street photography even, and 70mm, headshots and compression, things in the distance. Is it the best for that? No, but again, it's not a specialty lens. It can get it all done. What's that term? It's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I mean, I've shot entire weddings using this lens. You're getting effectively 4 popular focal distances within the one focal range. Now, it's not to say that a lens like this can replace prime lenses. I'm not trashing prime lenses by any stretch of the imagination. I love prime lenses. When you're talking about a 24-1.4 or a 35-1.4 or a 50-1.2 or an 85-1.4 or the 1.2, you're talking about lenses that have very, very unique characteristics and give very specific looks. Those are all great. But if you're trying to build something and you're on a budget, then prime lenses might not necessarily be the way to go. The 2470 gives you options. And if you're learning photography, or more importantly, building a business, then options are incredibly valuable, especially when you consider the fact that photography rarely happens under perfect conditions. Clients change locations, lighting changes, people move, kids don't stand still, weather changes, and moments happen without warning. And the more capable you are of capturing these moments in the moment, the more chances you have to become successful. Because clients don't necessarily care about that extra bit of bokeh in the background. They want the moment, they want the memory. And don't get me wrong, a versatile lens doesn't automatically make you a better photographer, but it does remove certain obstacles. It does remove friction. And instead of thinking, I wish I had a different lens, or I wish I would have brought another lens, or I wish I would have, switched lenses, you just think, how can I make this image work? Should I zoom in a little tighter? Should I go a little wider? And that's a much better mindset, because creativity always beats equipment. And here's a kicker. You don't have to be loyal to one specific camera brand. Pretty much every camera brand out there makes some version of the 2470, and most of them have different versions of the 2470. For example, this is the OG version 1 EF 2470 millimeter f2.8L. And there's the version 2, there's the f4, there's the RF version, there's the 28 to 70, which is pretty similar, but that's an f2. That one, you have to sell a spleen or a kidney. You have to sell some type of organ to get your hands on one of those, but they're all pretty much the same thing. So there's a bunch of different options out there, and that's just the Canon side. But Sony's got one, Nikon, Sigma, Tamron. This is a very common focal range, and it's common and popular for a reason. It works, it's useful. And regardless of what your budget looks like, you can get your hands on one, because you get a newer RF version, it's probably gonna cost you a couple $1,000s. But if you get your hands on one of these here, the OG EF version 1, which is still a solid lens with a full metal construction, a little heavy, but sturdy as all heck, you can get your hands on one of these for under $1,000 on the used market. I mean, the 2470 has always been known as the workhorse lens. I think oftentimes photographers confuse having options or having more choices with taking better photos. And those two things aren't the same thing. Sometimes when you have too many options, you start overthinking what you can do instead of just figuring out what you should do. Sometimes it's better to make it work with the lens that you have, as opposed to giving up on it and wasting time switching lenses in the hopes that it'll work with a different lens. It's kind of similar, I suppose, to analysis paralysis. You start wondering, would it look better at this focal range or that focal range? Do I need a wider aperture? Just take the shot. Luckily, if you have a 2470, then that eliminates some of that friction, because you could just kind of go through the different focal lengths within the range and try it all out without wasting too much time. And that's why this lens is so versatile. I mean, success doesn't come from owning a bunch of different lenses and a bunch of different focal lengths. It comes from understanding composition and understanding light and understanding storytelling. It comes from recognizing moments and understanding people and connecting with people, and developing your own unique style as a photographer. And having less friction and having a more versatile lens oftentimes will allow you to focus on those things, as opposed to focusing on swapping lenses, constantly worrying about whether or not you're using the right lens. Then here's the thing, if you're an experienced photographer and you know what you're doing, then it's not necessarily a bad thing. Experiment, try different things out. But if you're looking to build and you're looking to grow, there's a reason why the 2470 earned the reputation that it has. Not because it's flashy and not because it's trendy, but because it works again and again and again and again, time and time again. It just works. And if you're looking to be successful, if you're looking to find any type of success within the photography industry, content creation, anything like that, really, my opinion, I think the 2470 is all you need. Not necessarily all you should have, but you don't need those other things. Everything else beyond this point is for the sake of creative liberties, for experimentation, for variety in your shots. But what you need to be successful is here. So if someone asks me what lens I think they should buy first, I'll give you one guess. My answer is probably always going to be the same. 2470. Whether it's a 2.8 or an f4, EF, RF, Canon, Sony, doesn't matter. Will it replace every lens that you'll ever own? Is it the only lens that you should own? No. Some jobs are going to call for ultra-wide lenses. Some are going to require super telephoto lenses. Some photographers genuinely just love the look of a prime lens, that wide open aperture, that creamy bokeh. But if your goal is to find a lens that's capable of handling anything you can throw at it, something with versatility, flexibility, something that's gonna help you grow as a photographer and a business, it's hard to beat the 24-70. But hey, that's just my opinion. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you could recommend one lens to a photographer, brand new, ready to upgrade from his kit lens for the first time, what would it be? And yeah, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.